Hey, true crime lovers, we're happy to let you guys know that our podcast has been nominated for 4 different categories in the People's Podcast Awards. So if you're enjoying the podcast, we'd be honored if you could log in and leave us a vote. More information can be found on our website's Go Vote section. Links in the description. Let's get on with the show.
Welcome, y'all.
Hey, Sherry.
Hey, Tammy. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great.
And we also have Kyrstin with us.
Hey.
And she is not going to do the granny voice anymore. So y'all send in a lot of emails and tell her she's doing the granny voice.
I don't think Kyrstin and I have recorded together since the K-Bar.
The K-Bar. Were you in here for that, K-Bar?
I was here that day, and I think mine followed hers.
Yes.
And she came
okay.
back.
The K-Bar.
The K-Bar. Hey, Bree. Hey, Bree. How you doing? Yeah, she was like, yeah. What's a K-Bar?
Yeah.
Is it shaped like a K?
Yeah.
That's signature Brie for you.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Lord. Okay. I am so happy that you both are here. I have a little housekeeping. I got on my Patreon and I was so late on sending out some people's stickers, which, by the way, take some stickers before you leave because I wasn't going to use a postage stamp to send you stickers. And I'm going to say these people's names because I'm not sure if I said them. Maybe I did. But Susan F., Amanda, and Bobby, thanks for being Patreon members. And if any of you are listening and you are Patreon members and you never got stickers from me, Grits with a Side of Murder stickers, please email me, Tammy at gritswithasideofmurder.com, and tell me so I can send you some stickers.
Say, where my stickers at?
Wait, hey, ho, where be my stickers? You said we would get stickers.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are $10 and up Patreon members, I have heard that the episode that I just put out here in August for the bonus episode, that it's liked. It's been successful.
It is fun.
It's one of the ones where my kids just all come in here and tell stories on me. So,
And I knew Dalton was going to be brutal.
Oh,
yeah.
he walks into the room and he's brutal.
He wanted to roast me. Like
We should do that.
Well, that's what he said. I told him.
That'd be hilarious.
I was like, if you want to do a roast, we can do a roast.
like a full formal roast.
Yes. With somebody being the
That
MC.
would be
You think Kevin Hart would come do it?
That'd be awesome. Iconic.
Okay, so Sherry's going to tell us a story today, and it's pretty cool because one of our listeners, who is an author and a professor.
Yes, at Oregon State University.
Go ahead, tell us about her.
So she sent me this book. Nicole von Germitten.
That's the author's name.
That's the author's name. Wrote Death in Old Mexico. She is a professor of history, and her kind of area of focus is jurisprudence and crime in Central and South America.
Really? Okay. Wait, do you show the book to everybody? So if they want to get it, I'm sure you can get it on Amazon.
Yes, you can.
Nicole von
Germitten.
Germitten. Okay. Sounds German.
Yes, it
Nicole,
does.
email me. Is that a German last name? She probably married into it, though.
She could have.
Okay.
but
And Professor where? And what?
Oregon State University.
Oregon. Keeping it weird and no, that's Portland, isn't it?
Well, Portland's in Oregon. So.
Oh, okay. Keeping it weird.
And I think Oregon State might be in Portland.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
Maybe. If not, we're just going to pretend.
Sounds good. What you drinking?
Coke Zero.
Loaded tea and vodka.
Yeah, Poppy's out helping people.
Oh, no DD today to take you home. I am drinking a very light Redneck Riviera and water because I've kind of been drinking since this morning because we kind of had a live.
Because of the peer pressure.
We had a live posh show and yeah, I had to start drinking. Oh, do you have your phone? Because I want you to play. So earlier, Kyrstin was helping me out with something because a listener, Beth, thank you, Beth, for letting me know, heard some feedback on the podcast. And she's like, it's really hard to listen to. So we played it on different apps so we could figure it out. So if you're hearing some feedback, you can hear the feedback on Apple, Pandora, and Amazon. We listened to iHeart and Spotify. We couldn't hear the feedback. So we are trying to work on that and figure out what's going on. But in the meantime, if you want to flip over to one of those apps, But when she was listening, she pulled up an episode on speaker and she put it on. So it comes up on regular speed, right? Times one. And you can go lower at 0.5.
You want slow or fast first?
I want fast. Well, no, I want slow first. So
Okay.
she's going to she's going to play a little bit of this for y'all so you can hear what we sound like at half speed.
October.
Go around to the other side.
So is that a whole different? It's a whole different thing. That's exciting. Yes, completely whole different thing. So, women in comedy.
That's a lot.
Women in
All this
comedy.
is fun and games. Well,
That's the last 10 minutes of OPP.
Oh my God.
Okay, pause that. Okay, if you wanna laugh even harder at our episodes, just go play it at half speed. Now,
Hilarious.
on the flip side, we're gonna play that for you at 2 times speed. And I do have a listener that tells me this is the way she listens
wild.
to the
That's the
podcast.
one that I
Ready?
Yeah.
go into. Yeah. Okay, so I believe last episode we went to 2002. We're going to 2002 for this one. Okay. Chelsea sent this one in. Chelsea sends me stories every day, story ideas every day. Every day. Thank you, Chelsea. Yes, every day.
Every day.
Every day. Yes.
All right, now that we're all on crack.
That's awesome. That is the funniest.
Okay, so. All right, Sherry, hit us. Sorry for that long delayed introduction, but we're ready now.
Well, this is part of my What Did We Do Before kind of series.
Okay. Oh, like we talked about before there was fingerprinting, what did we do?
Mhm.
Before
Yeah.
there was DNA, CODIS, what did we do? I
Mhm.
gotcha.
And so the last one I did that I brought in was what did we do? You know, that first case with fingerprints.
Right.
Well, this case kind of brought about a real police force.
Really?
Yes,
In Mexico?
in Mexico.
Okay.
But it wasn't even Mexico yet. It was called New Spain.
What are we going back to? 18 something?
Before then,
Oh, wow.
1789.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. Going in the Wayback Machine. Doodaloo, doodaloo.
Toodaloo. Haven't heard that one in a while.
Okay. So here in America, we'd only been a little ways out of our revolution.
Right?
George Washington just got elected to be the first president in April of 1789. So this is way
It's
back.
the beginning of the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I guess kind of thinking about the Legend of Sleepy Hollow is kind of the closest to put you in a time frame.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we've all seen pictures, cartoons, movies of this.
There was no road. It was just mud.
It was just mud.
Yeah.
You knew how people dressed. You knew how people got around.
Yeah. There was
There
a
we
lot
are.
of taboo shit like don't kiss your girlfriend in public or
Mhm.
don't kiss your girlfriend at all because then you're going to have to marry her.
Oh, yeah.
Don't even touch her.
Don't touch her.
Hey, don't be seen. I'm channeling Bridgerton right
Yes.
now.
Oh.
Don't be seen in the garden by
Did
yourself.
you watch Bridgerton?
17 times.
Bruh.
Before you got here, I had it on. I know. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So the French Revolution happens in May of that year, 1789. But Mexico is still now part of New Spain. They don't have their revolution for another 20 years.
Okay.
Okay. And the Spanish Inquisition is still a thing.
It's not over, is what you're saying.
It's not over. And there's actually an inquisitor in Mexico City, which is where this takes place.
Okay.
Okay. And Mexico City is huge. At the time, New York City, which is about
Which-
as big as you get in general terms.
Today.
Yeah.
Yes.
But even then, as far as New World cities, it was still a
It
pretty
was
big city.
huge.
It had 20,000 people in it.
New York.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so what
Mexico City had 150,000.
Wow.
They
Golly.
were the biggest thing in the New World.
Like today, New York has probably 7 or 8 million people, right?
Yeah.
And then Chandler.
Mexico
Yes.
City has 20 million. They are huge.
Did you know that, Chandler? Oh, God. Chandler's camera switching for us. And we found out this summer while he was home that he is a geography genius.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where's Cameroon?
Africa.
Africa. But
That's a
I
good
knew
skill.
that, but where in Africa? Central West. Okay. All right. We're back
Up
to
at the top, down at the bottom.
a little bit to the right.
Yeah.
Well, so they have 150,000 people at the time. Still, right now, most of the top 10 cities are in Asia.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
could see that.
But Mexico City figures in the top 10
Yeah.
cities of the entire world.
Does New York figure into the top
Yes.
10? Okay.
But I think
all
they're
right.
like 9th or 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. So in the early morning hours of October 24th, the whole city's asleep. You know, what else are you going to do? You're not sitting up watching infomercials.
QVC, bro.
That was awesome. Amen.
And at 3 a.m., you know, which is like for them more of when the day's about to
Yeah,
start.
that's a morning time.
Yeah.
Why?
That's I'm going to bed time.
Now that you're going to
What?
bedtime, but you didn't have lights.
Right.
Oh. Okay.
We're talking
Yeah,
about
but why would
ancient.
you? But why would you wake up at 3 a.m. if you don't have lights? What the
Well,
fuck can you
How
do?
do they even know the time, really?
They didn't really.
Okay.
But by about 5 a.m., things start to stir. So this is
gotcha.
really
Gotcha.
close
The
to
chickens
wake
are
up time.
clucking, the roosters
Mhm.
are crowing. I gotcha.
So some people have already gotten their full sleep. So there are people that hear this stagecoach, not a stagecoach, but a coach just barreling through town.
Ooh.
Kind of wakes up a couple of people.
It would have definitely.
Adventure.
Well, it definitely
Mhm.
would have woke me up. I'm a light
I
sleeper.
would have
Yeah.
been.
And you don't have, you don't have your box
Did.
fan going.
Right.
You don't have your sound machine going.
Do you have a box fan?
I do not, but my bed has an air conditioner in it, so
Are you
it makes
serious?
noise.
Oh.
Girl, when you hit menopause, you
Me
don't
and Bryce
need
are going to
it.
have to get
You're
that.
gonna need it. Yeah.
We love the frigid.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Pretty cool.
Yeah. But I know a lot of people that still have to sleep with a
Box fan.
It's the
box fan
sound.
somewhere in the room for the sound.
Well, when
Mhm.
I go on vacation, I bring a little tiny fan with me and put it on my nightstand.
Blow right at your face.
Not only that, but the noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Like I can never sleep in a hotel
Mm.
because of that.
Yep. I got to have noise.
Okay, so a couple hours later, literally, the world's starting to wake up, and soldiers are some of these earliest risers.
That makes sense.
Melchor de Leon.
Get it with your Spanish, girl.
Look, y'all, I am sorry I keep hitting Spanish speaking things and speak no Spanish.
Okay.
But he leads a squadron of dragoons, and he opens up his door going to head out to go to work.
Crab ragoons? Is that
She said dragoons. I was like, oh, that's fancy goons.
Dang, now I want crab ragout. Huh.
Those are good.
They are so good.
I'm not a fan.
What is to hate? I mean, it's like puff
There's
pastry, cream
deliciousness.
cheese, and crab.
Yeah.
It's something about fried cream cheese that I'm not a
It
lover
wigs
of.
you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he opens the door, and there's a coach just abandoned in front of the barracks right there, just sitting
Like
there.
where the military people.
Yeah,
Like, we're going to fuck with you and leave this right here.
right here. He opens his door, and there's a stray coach.
All right.
And it's weird. And throughout the morning, he and several other people are trying to figure out who in the heck belongs to this coach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not everybody had a coach.
Right.
Right. That's probably more of a,
A Bridgerton thing.
yeah, definite Bridgerton.
And so, it was somebody with means.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it's just sitting there empty,
Yeah.
That's
just
weird.
abandoned. So they're trying to figure out what happened. And they finally figure out that the coach belongs to Don Joaquin Dongo
Don Quixote. That's who I am.
on
Don Perignon.
on Calle de Cordobas.
Girl, I want you
I
to.
feel like yours is more of a French sound.
It is. That I
That's
can't
what-
do
like,
it. That's
Every time she said anything kind of Spanish, I'm like, that is French. There's no way.
She's got a background. Yes.
Yeah.
I have a background in French.
It's a
and
French
so-
sound.
Look, and my
Look.
first French teacher was Portuguese.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So my French accent's all screwed
Okay.
up.
I have a request.
Huh.
Can you read future Spanish words in a Southern voice?
Oh, that'd be funny.
gosh.
That'd be hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a lot of them here. I can at least do a few.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it.
Okay. So so they head over to Don Dongo's home and see that the main entrance is still shut and locked at 6 a.m.
What?
6:30 a.m.
He's
That's-
in bed watching Netflix.
Yep, chilling.
Yeah, but he's a rich guy.
Well, he probably had a TV.
He has
in the
someone watching
1700s.
Netflix for him.
Where's his housekeeper? Where's his footman?
Right.
Where's all of this
Oh, the
happening?
footman.
Yeah. Okay, so they're kind of freaked out and they start yelling, and Don Dongo is from like this really big family in Spain. He come over here because there's silver here.
Okay. I got you.
And he's rich AF now.
You
He's
follow.
rooting around for all the
Look,
silver.
mhm.
You follow the money, man.
Yeah, and like I
Money's
said,
money.
the property would normally be hustling and bustling
Of course.
by 7 a.m. And so the men that are trying to get the coach back to him, they're like at the gate or the entrance yelling, screaming. The neighbors are
Come
like,
get your shit.
Bro,
the neighbors are
you
like,
left your shit in front of the barracks. Okay, so real quick, I'm a little buzzy, but I probably missed this part. Why did we know it was his coach?
My brain was just thinking that, so I'm glad you asked.
somebody that was asked knew.
Okay,
They,
all
I
right.
wonder, they might have had like a special seal,
Or maybe they
Probably
had like
so.
it was
their own colors.
ruby encrusted or something. That's Don Quixote's
Yeah.
fucking coach.
He's the only one.
Right.
He's it. And what it was anyhow, some of the neighbors' employees came and kicked down the carriage house door so
Mm.
they could get in.
You got to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so Jose Ariata
Nice.
was the-
Ariata.
Yep.
Was
it's
the
a
coachman.
Jose Ariata. I
he
got
was, yeah. And he was the coachman for the Inquisitor.
you. Okay.
'Cause I told you-
Like the judge or whatever, right?
Like that priest that would, draw and quarter you if you.
the
mean,
priest was in charge.
We're talking about the Spanish Inquisition.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Grand
kinda- Kind of go back in your Monty Python
Mm.
and remember these people. They would torture you.
It's
Sorry,
only
Amy.
a flesh wound.
We are the knights that say knee.
Knee. Knee. Have you seen Monty Python? Yes, he's shaking his head. I raised this child right. He's not
Yeah.
even 21 and he's
That's
seen
a
Monty
good one.
Python.
Okay. And so he was part of the group of men that were trying to solve this problem, but he was the one that recognized who this coach belonged to because he was also a coachman
Mm.
for a very wealthy and influential person in
All
the
those
city.
coachmen for the rich people talk to each other.
Yep.
Like they're
Well-
like they know the goss and everything.
Well, if you got 20 valets in a city, they know whose
Mm-hmm.
limos belong to whoever.
Mm-hmm.
True.
It's just the way it is. So this Jose, he enters the coach house and immediately knows something's bad wrong.
He probably smelt something.
It was
Ugh.
silent.
Which was super unusual for them.
Super
Yeah.
unusual. This is a house and a place of business together.
Okay.
It was silent. There was no breakfast being cooked. There was no dishes moving around, nothing. Just
No people,
Mhm.
no nothing. Dead silent.
so he starts to walk forward and throws his arms back and stops everybody and tells them to back out of the room.
Oh.
One of the neighbors.
We got a crime scene, boo boo. Back
Mhm.
out. Back out.
One of the neighbors runs out and gets law enforcement. And this place is a blood bath.
Oh, shit.
What?
When the guy who's supposed to open the warehouse gets there, he finds out that his boss / uncle has been massacred and that the entire household has also been murdered.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there were probably children there too.
No,
Oh, good.
because unfortunately Don Dongo was 74.
Oh,
Good Lord. I'm thinking like a young mogul.
excuse me. You can bother a child at 74.
Oh,
No,
yes.
His
Yeah.
wife was probably 72 though.
Yeah.
She done been through the
Young
pause.
Spanish
And
beauty.
I don't even know if he was married or if she had already died or what.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
bloodbath. Servants are killed.
Mm-hmm.
Grandpappy.
Don Quixote's killed. Don the Dingo is killed.
And so
Everybody.
the
Horrible.
justice system here is a little different than kind of an Anglo kind of thing.
Okay.
And we've come across it in South American stuff before. That even though it's a pretty modern legal and prosecutorial system, back then there was no real police force, like I had said.
Makes sense.
most places had either
The priest
had kind of
the
like-
judgment.
yeah, the priest and stuff passing the judgment, a volunteer police force, soldiers as policemen. We've
Okay.
seen a lot of this.
Yeah.
And on the prosecutorial side, your judge is also your investigator of the crime.
That seems a little one-sided.
Truly one-sided.
The judge is a little different in that he's not just a mediator that lets a jury figure it out. He's
Slam the gavel. This is what I'm saying it is, so this is
Yeah,
what it is.
pretty
He
much.
basically starts the trial with, I'm the bro that investigated this shit and he's
Mhm.
guilty.
Yeah,
And
so-
trial's over.
Yep.
okay. And so this guy's name's Imperan, and he's both the lead investigator and the judge. And he shows up at the scene with a scribe and some of the members of Dongo's family,
So in today's words, that would be the court reporter.
pretty much.
The scribe.
The scribe had a feathery pen and a
Yep.
jar of ink.
And one
Yeah.
of those fluffy hats on.
Absolutely.
And so these two men are it when it comes to like investigating this crime scene.
And this is where it ends. Like, we're going to judge you now because we investigated
Because
this
we
shit
did it and we
you-
know, and that's
Mhm.
what it is.
Yeah. And so problematic to be sure, but they actually did a pretty good job on this
I
one.
Okay.
probably didn't even know any better anyway, if that's how it was. Like nowadays, we do know this is not fair. We should have
Well,
selections
yeah,
and all
Like
that.
she said, this is a story about before we knew what we knew.
They probably didn't
Yeah.
know any better.
Yeah. And I mean, up until this point,
That's what it
most
was.
often, especially Spanish crimes, were convicted by the Spanish Inquisition. Like,
Let's go. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I would rather a regular man
Then a
convict me of a
priest.
crime than a priest.
Yeah.
Say, bro, did you get it with any little boys before you passing judgment on me? Sorry, I know my Catholics are listening. That's just a joke.
It's
Okay.
just a joke.
Jokey joke.
Okay, so, like I said, the home and the warehouse are kind of together. And as soon as the men entered the mezzanine for the warehouse, they find the first body.
Who was it?
It was the coachman, still dressed in his
Oh.
clothes,
Wow.
and his head was a mess.
So they snatched him. Whoever did this, they didn't take the coach home. They left it in front of the barracks.
Shit.
Yeah. They snatched him.
A few feet later, they find Don Dongo. He was fully dressed, except for his gold accessories were missing.
I
Of
bet.
course. I thought you were going to say he's
They-
fully dressed, except he was missing his pants.
They even
Take it from the
stole
waist
his
down.
rosary.
Oh, not the rosary.
Bastards.
That's kind of
sacrilegious.
that. I mean,
Yeah. Leave the man his rosary.
They wanted to
Uh-huh.
disrespect him, though.
Absolutely. You're right.
and then they found another livery servant. Somebody that worked with the
Mhm,
horses.
Mm-hmm.
And in another area, they found the doorman and somebody that was described as a visitor from another bit of land, another rich guy.
Okay.
So it kind of sounded like he was a loaned out hired hand.
Yeah, like the other estates.
Yeah.
Equestrian livery, whatever.
And he was an indigenous man. Another servant named Juan Francisco was found dead. Juan and the doorman had their hands bound, no one else.
Okay.
They must have put up a fight.
Yeah. Well, or maybe they had to subdue them before they could get any
That
further
too.
into the house.
The floor in this entire section is just a pool of blood.
Like you're going to slip and fall.
Yes.
Yes. Got you.
And there was only one person in their night clothes. Everybody else was still dressed. So it kind of gives us a little bit of a timeline,
Okay.
a little bit right there.
So I know it wasn't police, but I'm just going to say quote unquote police at this time. Do you think they had at least the forensic knowledge of these people have been dead for X amount of hours?
To an extent. I mean,
Probably do they smell?
Well, not only that, but if the blood's dried,
Yeah.
if it's still wet,
and then you're still dealing with something that's pretty obvious, rigor mortis.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
So this but even just that setup tells you this happened late last night before
Mhm,
bedtime because
mhm.
nobody's
nobody's
in their nightgown.
no. Oh, okay, I got
Yeah.
you. Okay,
Okay.
So one person had gotten ready for bed. Everybody else was still up and at 'em.
Had I been there, I would have already been asleep, so I would not have been killed.
I'd have been up
No, I am like
rolling.
8:30, bitch. I better be sleeping.
Okay. And so the victims were hit mostly in the head and throat.
Knives? Like, why is there so much blood? If you conk me on the head, I'm probably not going to bleed out through my head.
Machetes.
Oh,
boy.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Machete.
11 victims. Okay. That's what the third movie reference today.
Yeah. Machete.
11 victims in all, 7 men, 4 women. And you would think they'd take it easier on the women, but not
Nah.
really.
I don't feel like they would. Because I associate this kind of violence, which it probably isn't.
Like, let me softly kill you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
like
quick-
choke them or
yeah.
something. Or
Oh, not as vicious.
not
Yeah.
blood spewing
yeah,
everywhere.
not slitting their throat and all
But
that.
I feel like what we're like, my whole sensibility about this is going to drug cartel. But I don't think that's what this story is, but I'm picturing it in my mind like
Yeah.
that.
Where it's just
Yeah.
complete
It's just-
viciousness.
yes, exactly.
Well, if you have a 6 or an 8-inch wound on a woman because she's smaller, it's almost bisect her.
Oh, wow.
I mean, so this was seriously a problem. I mean, it was
No
the
holds
bloodiest,
barred. Yeah.
grossest. Yeah.
Do we have photo? No, I'm joking.
I was going to ask that too. And then I was like, nope, we don't.
Yeah.
17 something.
Mm-hmm.
They
You
didn't
know.
have electricity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nearly cutting their heads off. Nearly one got hit in the back.
They just came in and went.
Yeah. And it came through to her chest wall.
Mm-hmm.
It was ninjas wielding katana swords
Mhm.
that came in.
And these were quick attacks that would silence the victim. No need to scream. This is one of the
Right.
best neighborhoods in
Yeah.
Mexico City.
Mm-hmm.
The cathedral is right there.
Another sacrilegious.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so talk of this murder spreads quickly because I mean,
bet.
11 people are slaughtered in their home.
And it's in a good section of town.
It's in a good section of town.
Yeah.
These were not people that were running out, getting in gambling debts or anything like that.
Yeah.
Out upstanding humans.
These were not
ratchet fools.
These were not high risk
Yeah.
victims.
Exactly. Okay, and so fear and anger really fuels this talk
Mhm.
throughout the city, and the fact that Dongo was killed in his own home, which was culturally even more so than
Yeah.
now, his castle,
Yeah.
his
The
safe
worst
space.
crime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
this-
there's some respect among criminals about certain things back then.
Oh,
Like, you don't kill a man in his own
yeah.
house.
Yeah. And take his rosary.
Right.
That's fucked up.
That
Yeah.
is, I hated that part, and I don't even personally care about a rosary.
But that's
That's
but-
just
yeah. If he had a rosary on him, he cared about the
Yes.
fucking rosary.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and you kind of had to here.
Yeah. It's yes. That's very, very Catholic area.
The Inquisition of it
Mhm,
all
mhm,
would mean
mhm.
you care or you die.
Yeah.
You carry that rosary in your back pocket. And we-
Yeah.
You want to go down with that rosary
yes,
for sure.
Yes.
So anyhow, yeah, obviously it's a burglary. The keys to the warehouse are missing. They're assuming money is missing.
Mm-hmm.
But
There's no
It's
banks.
cash.
Yeah. There's no
Yeah.
banks. So yeah, money was definitely missing.
and they see all the cushions from the inside of the coach dumped out on the patio.
The same coach that got ran over by where the military people are?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so they made it home, dumped the cushions, did whatever, and then took the carriage back.
Or
Sounds
they
like.
dropped the carriage off to say, hey, motherfuckers, we killed these people. Come find them.
They
Oh.
made room in the carriage right there at
Yeah.
Dongo's house.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Dumped everything out that would
Yeah.
take up room.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so the investigation kicks off, and I'm kind of impressed with it. Like, there's 150,000 people there, and you take on this monumental task of trying to find who killed 11 people.
That 11
Yeah.
people at one time is a lot today with the technology we
It takes
have.
a lot of hands to do that anyway.
Yes,
and
with
they
the
had-
knowledge we have.
Yeah.
2. And one of them was just
The writer.
yeah. Okay. So, well, I mean, I say there's 2, but there are people that work for him. There are these
Yeah.
volunteer guys.
We're gonna find out
So he sent them
who
out.
did the deed.
Fuck around and find out,
That's
bruh.
right.
One of the things he did was sent his people all around the city to anybody who sharpened knives
Mm.
and said,
Interesting.
Have
Who
you
brought
had
machetes over
have you had
yesterday?
anybody bring in a group of machetes in the last few weeks to get
Mhm.
sharpened?
A gaggle of them.
Mhm.
Yeah. And, they didn't come up with anything. They interviewed neighbors to kind of help peer down the timeline.
Because there can't be that many people that, 1, are sharpening knives, but 2, are popping in with,
Machetes.
please sharpen all my machetes real quick.
Well, there were a lot of people. Okay.
A lot of sharpeners.
Well, I feel like
Yes,
there would
I
be
mean,
a lot
it's
of
a-
people with machetes. You got to remember, this is old school shit. We
Yeah.
didn't have,
No
But,
pew pew.
or yeah, no pew 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 pew.
you don't have like, it's almost like dropping off your dry cleaning or dropping off something to be repaired. Knives, machetes, all this were daily use things.
Mhm.
They didn't have food choppers.
yeah,
true.
Yeah,
True.
So this was a job.
they got to
that
slaughter their
people had.
meal.
Yeah.
You got to
Gotcha.
machete.
And so, but a housewife is not bringing in a group of them.
Right.
The average farmer's not bringing in a group of
2 or
them.
3, maybe
Mhm.
most.
But there were at least like 3 that did this because how
There's no way one person did all of this.
Right.
exactly.
No way.
So they go through the basics. Could a family member have done it? They checked on some of the usual suspects. But on 10/26, now this is discovered on October 24th. But in the evening of October 26th, this guy, Don Geronimo Covarrubias,
You didn't southern that up enough. Don Geronimo Corbernubius.
okay.
Corbanurius.
Did I get close on his last
She's
name?
searching for like a country hillbilly.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if I
She's
can
like,
do
I don't feel comfortable with this. These people are
She's
victims.
like, I'm on that Coke Zero right
yeah,
now.
she's like, these people are victims and you're fucking making fun of their name. It's the
Look.
1700s. They're not going to know
They're not
I
going to
did
care.
Yeah.
They're not going to care.
Yeah.
So they go into Imperius, that judge's
it.
office.
Yeah.
This Geronimo, which is how I refer to him for the rest of it,
Okay.
goes in there and he relates something that happened to him on the afternoon of October 24th.
All right.
So the same day of the
Mhm.
discovery. And he's walking with a friend on their way to dine with some other friends, and they come across 3 men. 2 are perfectly normal to run into, a watchmaker from the area and someone else that he knows slightly.
And a machete sharpener of the area.
But the third one kind of bothered Don Geronimo. The third guy, who he didn't know,
Was what?
he had on a hair ribbon. I mean, think Ichabod Crane. They had that little ponytail.
Oh, yeah, little ponytail.
Yeah.
Like
a hair ribbon, like actual ribbon. Yes.
today,
Mhm.
dudes can wear hair ribbons, but I don't know if that was kosher in 17 something.
That was totally the fashion.
Oh,
because they
okay.
would have their hair
All right.
kind of caught
So
back.
that wasn't the weird part.
That was not the weird part.
Okay.
The weird part was a drop of blood was on this hair ribbon.
that he was wearing.
How the fuck you meet somebody and you see a drop of blood on a hair ribbon?
I
mean,
don't know.
I think if like the
Let
whole
me examine the ribbon.
Yes, fine ribbon, sir. Where did you acquire this
Yeah.
fine piece of silk?
But in, his head, the connection was made because, hey, we've just had this horrible crime and I see a drop of blood and it bothered him.
Okay, that makes sense now. Yeah.
Okay.
All
And the
right.
drop of blood wasn't that big. It wasn't any bigger than a lentil.
Wow. He got like
Do you
a
know what a-
fucking
Got like,
yeah.
Like half a petit pois.
yeah,
Yeah, he fucking got
like
that
a microscope eyeball.
He's like,
Mhm.
"Nice to meet you. Can I look at your hair ribbon with a magnifying glass?"
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
And, okay, y'all know that blood turns pretty black after a
Yes,
day.
yes.
The fact that he could recognize it as blood that day let him know it was kind of fresh.
Yeah,
So he was
okay.
a little
Still had that
skeeved.
reddish hue to
Yeah.
it. Okay. Making sense so far.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, Geronimo imparts this to Imperius, who sends for the watchmaker, Don Blasio.
They're all done.
Not everybody.
I feel like
Almost.
that maybe like the equivalent
comment.
of Mr.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah.
It's a little weird, somewhere between Mr. and Sir.
Okay.
To be a Don, you had to have some honor in your family. But this is the
Okay.
richest area
They weren't all named Don for their first
That's
name.
what I'm sitting here
Yeah.
thinking, like, what in
And
the
that's
hell?
like such an American name, too.
Yeah.
Like Don.
Donald.
Hey, Bill,
Yeah.
Quixote, whatever.
Yeah. No, Don is maybe closer to Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And like, because you had to have no Arab or Jewish or any history of an enslaved people in your background, be able to trace it back many generations
To be a Don.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you had to be kind of upper echelon or on your way up there. Okay. But this Don Blasio, the watchmaker, also happened to be a volunteer peace officer of sorts.
Okay, I was going to be like, why are you calling the watchmaker when you found blood? Now
Right,
it makes
weird.
sense. Yeah.
Well, he was the one that was standing there with this guy that Geronimo didn't know.
Okay.
And so
He was friends
Empirus
with the bloody friend.
Mm-hmm.
called him in and he was like, hey, tell me about your buddy
Mm-hmm.
that was with you on the day of the murder at some point. And so he identifies the third guy as Don Felipe Aldama.
Let's just call him Don.
All of them.
we'll
Don
mostly,
1, Don 2.
we'll mostly call him Aldama.
Eldama.
Mhm.
All right. Got it.
Okay. This guy had recently beaten a murder charge.
Oh,
Hmm.
dirty.
Little sus, little sus.
Sus
Yeah.
number 1.
Yeah.
And he's a Don, so
Well, he probably beat it because he's a Don.
Yeah.
exactly. So they go to his rooms and they find the ribbon, and it is obviously blood.
All right.
Okay, so Eldama is found and brought in for questioning. Emperon asks him about his Saturday afternoon. He starts off with just the point that Emperon like absolutely knows.
Mm-hmm.
Smart way to interrogate somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they're going to lie,
Mm-hmm. Boil it down to, make
Yeah.
them lie on something you already
Yeah.
know.
yeah. Yeah, it's part of that. I'm not going to ask you any questions I don't already know the answer to, so you better.
Mhm. That's what I tell my kids.
Might as well just
Uh-huh.
tell the truth.
I was
from the
like,
jump.
I'm about to ask you something and you need to think really hard because I probably already know the answer to it. So you better tell me the
Mhm.
truth.
Well, he says first he went to a cockfight.
Bro,
Okay.
the rooster's kicking up so much blood. You got
Yep.
it on your hair ribbon behind your head while you're watching the cockfight facing forward.
And let me tell you, she said cock so many times in those chapters. And I am a junior high boy as far as my humor goes. So I'm just sitting there giggling.
cock, cock, cock. Okay, what's her name that wrote the book? Nicole?
Nicole. Yeah.
Nicole, way to go.
Way to get the cock in.
Yeah.
Okay. So he said, and then he hung out with the watchmaker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was his alibi.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, he started with the afternoon after this was found.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the main reason why that these three men were hanging out together, though, was to get info on the crime because it's, burning up the wires. It's the
Yeah.
biggest thing
Talking
around.
of town. Everybody's wondering who the fuck did this.
The latest scandal.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's actually what I said.
Mhm.
Obviously, this massive murder was the talk of the town.
Yeah.
He asked a few more details of his Saturday, and Aldama said he went to go visit his friend Quintero, someone else that enjoys the occasional bet.
Ooh.
Aldama obviously gambles a
Mhm.
lot.
Oh.
If he's going to a cockfight at 2:00 in the afternoon,
Yes. He's hooked.
he's hooked.
He just laying it out.
Got that
at the
itch.
casino.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Quintero was kind of trapped in New Spain because he had come over to assist a family member and he was supposed to help them out with something and they were supposed to pay his passage back to the Canary Islands, which is where his home and his family and all were.
All right.
Mhm.
They screwed him over.
Mm.
So-
You could just stay here now forever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he's stuck in this little room in a boarding house. And they also mention another man named Blanco.
Blanco.
Blanco is younger, also from a decent family, but he lives with his aunt and his aunt keeps kicking him out of the house.
He's a troublemaker.
Delinquent.
Teens.
Mhm.
And so Aldamo, since he's already been through a murder investigation, is not as scared as he should be.
He's like, I beat this rap.
Yeah, I done did this. I'm
Mhm.
good.
She, man.
Yep.
And so his first, whenever they say, aha, but here, what about this bloody ribbon? And he's like, oh, I got that at the cockfight. the losing chicken owner held it up in the air and kind of
Shackled it all over the place.
Yeah.
Just fucking
sprayed us
Drizzled
with
everybody.
it.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so then
Weak excuse.
Yes.
and then they hit him with then why did we find empty bags of money stuffed with bloody ropes in your room?
Ooh, fuck, got him.
So when I was at the cockfight,
I tied the cock up.
no, I won a lot of money, and when he was shaking the rooster, and then I had to put all my money in a bag, and there was, it was blood.
Yeah.
And, bruh.
Weak sauce.
Still I'm not feeling it.
And so Emperon was kind of suspecting Blasio was part of it too, the watchmaker,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because he was hanging out with the guy
Yeah.
a few hours after the murder.
But he is a volunteer kind of policeman, so
Mhm.
hopefully he's
That
not
don't make a
involved.
shit.
And so
You
they
right.
did.
That don't make a shit.
You're right.
You know how many
Yeah,
of
let me
them are out
see.
there.
Yeah. And so they even had retained him. What's the word?
I don't know.
Not arrested, but detained.
Detained him.
Detained him for a while.
I was like, retained? Did he get a lawyer? What's going
That's
on?
what I'm thinking.
But Blasio had an alibi and included the word of a lot of other law enforcement people.
Nice.
Yeah.
He had
Them boys got to stick together.
He
Mhm.
had 2 priests and the manager of a cockfight vouching for him.
Yep.
So authorities go back to Aldama's room, search, and they find other clothing with blood stains and wax stains.
Wax.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things that was found whenever they first busted in
Did they
on
wax the machetes?
was
No, it's not a surfboard.
was a candlestick and a guttered out candle
So
was on the ground.
we got to
So,
remember there's no electricity.
Right.
So if they go in and they are here, whatever, and there's probably those big tall candles, you know what I'm saying, to light the path. If one of the servants was there and had a scuffle, there absolutely could be
Covered in it.
spilled
Mhm.
wax.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, the blood is because I get chronic bloody noses from
Oh, my
snuff.
God.
Wait, I thought it was a cockfight.
Story change.
Okay, that's
And I just dripped it in this empty money bag for safekeeping.
red flag number 75.
Shove the rope up my nose to keep it from bleeding.
Because, snuff,
Yeah.
back then you snorted
Right.
instead of stuck in your lip.
Queen Charlotte.
Yeah.
Dirty bitch. She did it so sweetly, though. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the judge says that kind of blood looks different than blood spatter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, they knew that.
So he knew that.
Nice. All right.
And
Should have stuck with the cockfight
yeah.
because that was at least,
Shaking it.
yeah.
Yeah. And so Aldama blames the blood on maybe it was from watching the public lashing last week.
Bro, you need, if you're going to
Pick
tell
one.
a lie,
Pick one.
stick with it.
Yep.
Just stick with it all the way to the end.
And that, while he was in the crowd watching this guy get his butt beat for whatever sin he
So
was getting his butt beat
This
for.
guy goes to everything violent in the town.
He
Yeah.
is.
in the town.
Yeah, in the
yes.
taunt. Oh my God. I can't wait.
So many show references.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So Aldama is a little bit like wealthier and more stable than the other 2 guys.
Okay.
So he was like, the maid didn't get a chance to take care of my hat yet.
Good Lord.
I spilt some wax on it, yada da.
Likely story there.
I
But-
would be looking at him
Like, bruh.
I'd be like, no.
Dragon.
Yeah.
So
You trifling motherfucker.
So it turns out Quintero had moved rooms in this very short amount of time.
They're wearing
You
me.
dumb ass. Dumbass.
Wearing me out with this.
Yeah.
It's like chasing around a toddler. Did you touch it? Did
Yeah.
you touch it?
And he didn't move to a better neighborhood or something. No.
Same
he
building?
moved, same building, just to a
Mhm.
different room. Well, they found
My room smells like ass. Can y'all move me?
in his old room, they found 23 bags of money.
What the? Okay.
Okay. He didn't move. He
Under
bought a second
You,
room.
you skipped
Under-
on over.
Under the floorboards, he
What
had
a
hid them.
dipshit.
This dude
Yeah, and it contained about 21,000 pesos, which right now wouldn't sound like much.
No, but in today's money, it would be $7 billion.
Somewhere close.
7 billion.
At the time, 10
$1 billion. Okay, another movie reference. Sorry.
10 pesos was a month's wages.
And he had 20,000.
21,000
Yeah,
pesos.
bruh. He could buy Mexico City.
Yeah,
He had
yeah,
so many
yeah.
pesos.
And then they find Don Dongo's personal items,
Yep,
his
the-
rosary,
yep.
his shoe buckles, his belt buckle,
Dumbass.
all the crap they stole off of that poor old man's dead body.
Me and you both.
Fucking idiot.
We're not criminals, but me and you both right now are feeling like I could have done so
much better, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And so they even had several pairs of Don Dongo's stockings in there.
I know bitches be wearing stockings back then. I mean, bastards be wearing stockings back then.
Yeah. And they were embroidered and they were silk. And yes, they were expensive.
Of course they were.
right.
But
They
it
probably
just
had
sounds so
dumb-
His seal on them.
No, I was going to say somebody probably embroidered his initials
Yeah.
on them. And this dude's like, I got to steal those.
Yeah,
well,
and I'm going to
well.
be hopping around with Don Diego's fucking socks on me and nobody's going to notice.
Yep.
among the people who gave testimony,
Yeah.
kind of tightening the timeline.
Yeah.
He had just been given one of these pairs of stockings. Somebody had embroidered them and given them as a gift.
Oh, Don.
Don Dongo. So
Dongo.
he just got these brand, it was kind of pretty easy to trace.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's not like,
So these guys are even pulling in like, we're going to go question witnesses about socks and shit. So
Yes.
that's pretty awesome. Yeah.
and see, like, even if you and I were to embroider something
Yeah.
using the same pattern,
Yeah.
it's not going to be the same.
No.
No.
You will be able to tell the one
It's
you
like a
did.
fingerprint.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just to keep.
This ain't my shoddy work.
So Meemaw's like, that is my embroidery.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And bring me up in front of the
And
court.
look,
Yeah.
that flower's there because I messed up a stitch over
Yep.
here
Mhm.
and I had to cover it up. So
Yep.
I know.
Knocked my candle over.
Yeah.
Had to
Spill
start
some
over.
wax
Yeah.
on my hat.
And Quintero uses a different version for the blood in his room and with his stuff. It's the snuff excuse, but he did it even dumber.
Okay.
He was like, no, that's not blood. That's brown snot from
You got
me
me
taking
fucked up.
snuff.
What?
Look, I know when we
What?
light our tiki torches outside.
Oh my God.
Sidebar. When we light our tiki torches outside and we keep them kind of close to where we're all sitting because the mosquitoes are eating us, that night after we go upstairs and go to bed, we are blowing
Oh, yeah.
black out of our nose from those tiki
Mhm.
torches. So this dude, I'm not mad at his excuse,
Oh.
but it's still a little shaky.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like
But brown
That's
snot-
brown snot that you're looking at, not blood.
Not blood.
I would be embarrassed to tell someone that's not blood, it's my brown snot.
Well, he was trying to get out of murdering
You're
somebody.
right.
That was my brown anything other
Yes.
than blood.
I farted a little.
Yeah,
yes.
that's my shart.
Did I tell you what I looked like when I got home from that night when Harold put
Yes,
all of the
you
tiki?
did.
I looked like Al Jolson. I got home because, it's dark out
Right.
here. We drove home in the dark. I went straight to go potty. So bright light for the first time.
And you're like, God, I look
I only
like
had
what?
white around here. My
Yeah.
hair was dark. My skin was dark.
Yeah.
I was wearing this bright gold sweater because it was like LSU season.
You were darker than Poppy that night.
I was darker than Poppy. Oh, it was rough. Ugh.
All
Yeah.
right. So,
Okay, so-
brown snot.
Brown snot. Well,
So
obviously,
Where
they're,
were we? Brown snot.
Yeah, terrible.
they're not believing this at all.
Good for them.
Okay, so after some really good work and some great interrogations, I am
Mhm.
loving the way they're interrogating.
Mhm.
All three men confess and sign their
Oh, they
death warrant,
confessed.
their own death warrants ×2.
Damn.
Okay, but what did they ever find the murder weapon or weapons?
The
one of them
machetes?
told that they had thrown him in the river.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these guys are going to be hung and then they're going to be taken down. They're going to be hung again because they got death ×2.
Well, I think it was more about signing it and one goes back to Spain and one stays in Mexico City, or
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
All right.
Like a duplicate.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Got you.
So,
I got you.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause,
All right.
you know,
I
no
thought you
carbon
meant they
pepper.
were sentenced to
They
death.
double
pepper.
killed him.
Yes.
They double killed him.
No, I love it when like
I would have killed him with a machete. Not you. Y'all don't get to be hung. We're gonna slice and dice you just like y'all slice and dice this man.
and we're gonna throw some hot wax in there
and some brown snot.
Exactly.
And some brown snots.
And
from
on
Mary.
top of it, when you think you finished the torture, we're gonna throw some fighting chickens.
Yes,
in there.
God fight.
Oh, there's cock again.
There-
It's everywhere.
Love it.
Okay, so on 11/7, so November 7th, that's not very
No,
far.
No.
that's like
2 weeks.
not even
2.5
2 weeks. I think. Yeah.
24th to the 31st is a week. And
Yeah,
then the
that's
31st,
true.
2 weeks
Yep,
straight
2
up.
weeks.
Okay, so
We found your asses. We
Convicted y'all's asses.
thank you. That's convicted y'all asses, and now we're about to kill you.
Yep.
yeah, so the men are put in like black hoods and cloaks,
Of course.
put on black draped mules,
Oh.
and to bring in another show, they're paraded through town with the town crier telling everybody what they did. So it's kind of like the fame. Yeah.
Shame. Game of Thrones. Did you
I
watch?
did not. Bryce keeps telling me I should watch that one.
It's so good.
That's what he said.
Okay.
Okay. And so the men are led to a stage that has 3 pillars on it with 3 stools in front of the pillars.
They're going to kick those out.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the executioner stands behind the men as they sit up against the pillars with their backs up against it. And he garrots them one at a time.
Oh, wow.
Quintero first, then Aldama, then young Blanco.
Hey, they weren't hung.
They were not hung.
Nice.
Could you imagine being Blanco and you have heard
Two guys.
Oh my!
And it
Do me first, please. Please.
Yes.
It's just do me first.
and it takes a while
Yeah.
to strangle someone.
Yeah.
That's a solid 5 minutes at least.
I feel like it was necessary at this point.
Yeah.
Y'all don't get to go out in
Yeah.
no, y'all don't get that.
That's I agree.
That
with you.
is-
Yeah.
But this is the thing. That kind of execution was reserved for
The worst.
for people of honor.
Oh,
Really?
Yes, because it left them with some dignity.
wow.
They weren't screaming, they weren't twitching, they
'Cause they
weren't
were
being
all
pulled
dons.
apart. Yeah, because they were all from decent families.
That's wild.
I cannot imagine where garroting would be the best form of
No,
capital
fuck no.
punishment.
Jesus. I mean, I feel like if that's the case, slit their throat and
Mhm.
be quit, be done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Jeez.
yeah, gross.
Well, at least they caught the guys.
Yeah.
At least they caught the
They
guys.
punished the guys.
Oh yeah, but the story's not over.
Oh, okay.
So after the execution, the men are brought to
The men's?
the men's.
All them men's.
The
Mhm,
men's.
mhm, the men's.
They're brought to the chapel, to the cathedral, and they give them
A funeral.
a real funeral,
Oh
and
my
they bury
God.
them on holy ground.
Oh,
The church was really big on the statement that the king cannot decide on a person's future; only the church can.
Okay.
So the king can't tell you that this person is so bad he can't go to heaven.
But you know what? I really have a problem with the holy ground part. I know you're a lord or higher, uppity.
The
like,
old dubious one.
I do have
you
a problem with it.
fucking killed somebody. Like,
Not somebody.
You killed
11 people.
somebodies.
excuse me.
And
11.
some of
You
those,
killed more than
Like,
10
fuck.
people, and
You're not
getting-
holy. You
You're
don't
not.
get to have the
Yeah,
holy
you
ground.
don't. You're right.
and most of those victims, because they were servants,
They got buried in a pauper's grave,
Yep.
probably.
and their name is not in history, even though we have some good historical texts of the
Mm.
moment.
Oh, wow.
They didn't even bother leaving these people with a freaking name.
And those people had a mom, a dad,
Yeah.
probably a sister, brother, maybe
Kids.
even a wife, kids.
Maybe bigger families than the rich guys did.
Yes.
Okay. So the only thing about their whole burial that was a bit desecrating was they cut off the right hand of all 3 of them. Because that would
Why? So they couldn't jerk off in the afterlife?
No beating off.
That was the hand that committed the sins.
Oh my God.
So they weren't
Look,
going to let that be buried.
If you're going to do that, chop it off, then kill them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like at least let them know, hey, you ain't getting to keep this shit, bitch.
Chop off their hand, throw it in a garbage can nearby, and then
That wasn't honorable enough for
use
them.
the garrote. That's such shit.
Garbage.
Yeah. Oh, it's
That's shit.
and then so they took Quintero's hand and nailed it above the door of the rooming house he was living in. And Aldama's and Blanco's hands were nailed above Dongo's door and left there.
I don't know.
Just left there.
Reminded saying these motherfuckers fucked us over, but we got their hands.
You know
Okay.
what? Stanky ass, rotten hands.
Yeah.
Mhm. And Dongo's home was owned by the church, actually. Dongo was just renting it.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. And the church wanted to rent out the home again. They used that funds to
Where the
fund the
massacre
church.
was?
Yes.
Did they have
wow.
to disclose that someone had a hand nailed above the door?
Two
Did the,
hands.
did the realtor have to disclose that?
That was one of the pleas that were made in the legal case. Was the church came back and said, "Can we take these down? It's a
It's
little
about
hard
time."
to rent the house out."
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And-
Bob and Sarah came and looked at the house.
And they don't
were-
like the hands.
They,
don't-
really
they
liked
don't.
it,
Mm-mm.
but that hand.
That was a no for them, dog.
Yeah, it was a hard no.
And so, anyhow, there were some interesting things that came out about this. Streetlights
They
became a thing.
But wait, are we talking about like the gas lantern
Yes.
type? Okay, I was like,
The
we
street
haven't
lights.
invented
Yeah.
electricity.
Yeah. So the street, well, I think at this point, Franklin's already discovered it, but we
Okay.
haven't found a way to move it.
It's not.
He's just fooling around with it right now.
It's not prolific everywhere.
Right,
Mhm.
right. And so it is gas street lights, and they set up a force that was going to light and
And put it
snuff
out,
these
yes.
every day.
Not to be
Nice.
confused with the brown boogers.
They set up an actual night watch crew.
I am so sorry. This whole entire story you've told us has been out of control because I have been
Y'all
drinking.
been
all
drinking
day.
already. Yeah.
She's going to be on the ride home like, fuck that
I hate
bitch.
them
I'm going back to her.
bitches.
Now, just a little jealous. Just a little jealous. I'd like to be a little looser right now.
Would
You carry that story very well because I would have been like way too drifted. I would have been like, well, I would have broke off like to a million other
And it was
aspects of it for sure.
the book was pretty good.
Mhm.
There's a lot in the book that I didn't include.
Will you
Mhm.
show the book again?
I absolutely will. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that you can kind of find in it.
Okay.
Okay.
Beside the word cock.
Besides the word
100
cock
times.
over and
Chapter
over again in the
10,
chapter.
just all cock.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Nicole. You knew what you were getting into when you sent it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nicole, for the book
Yes.
and the story idea.
Yeah, good
But
story.
And
there's
good luck.
more about the spooky side of this in there.
Okay.
Ooh, I love spooky dooky.
Yeah.
There were quite a few dreams and portents and
Oh, wow.
omens and
Wow.
Aztecs and there was a lot.
Okay, we could do a whole nother
Yeah,
episode.
so
on
you can really get sucked into the book.
Spooky
Uh-huh.
dooky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
love me some spooky dooky.
Oh,
shit.
it's almost time for me to start bringing spooky
well
dooky.
because right now we're in August, but October right around the corner.
right
We got
around
to
the
start
corner.
recording
About
now.
to kiss
Mhm.
October.
Yeah, we got to start recording now to get stuff out for
Mhm.
October.
Yeah, I might bring y'all another original
What?
like I did last year,
Okay.
where I took a whole bunch of our little stories and made a big one.
Yes.
Might do that. But no, there's that. She's a history professor. So
Nice.
there's a lot in the book about the political
Mhm.
parts of it that lined up
Mm-hmm.
for this change. And it's just an interesting time.
Nice. Thank you, Nicole.
Yes.
From
Oregon
Oregon.
State.
Keeping it weird. Portland, keeping it weird.
Wait, while we're here, I'm checking that.
Okay.
While you're looking at
You're
the
going to
rest.
look at, okay. So, y'all know we end up on something kind of funny to lighten the mood. Although this
It's
particular.
been all about cocks and blood.
Yes, this
Uh-huh.
particular episode has been pretty funny because it's cocks and brown boogers. But I love it when you do the throw up noise. So
You could do it in slow mode and be like, "Ugh."
So that when you played that at half speed, that literally sounds like when we do one of those super drunk grits after dark
Yes.
episodes. Or like,
Yes.
so what do you say about that? I can't believe you killed him.
So did it kill him?
Okay. What were you looking up?
I was trying to see. It doesn't appear to be in Portland.
Okay.
But
It's close
I don't have
enough.
readers on, and I can't see if that town is close to Portland.
It's close enough.
Close enough to be weird.
Yeah.
To keep
Okay.
it weird.
Speaking of weird,
Let's hear it.
we're going to have some weird American laws.
Okay.
BuzzFeed is where I went.
I like BuzzFeed.
But here's the thing. What y'all need to understand, we're playing a game. Okay.
All right.
Last episode, T-Pop was here,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave him some, is this a real law or a fake law?
Okay.
All right. So don't answer right away. Think about it. All right.
Do we need a buzzer?
We need a buzzer.
Oh, do you want what? You want to use like that buzzer? That's not funny.
What's your other one?
I don't have another buzzer.
Yeah, what's the red buzzer?
Oh, that one sings songs and it's too
That's
long.
too much.
Yeah, no. It's an asshole, but
Mm-hmm.
okay, here we go. All right. All right. True or false law. Okay. It's illegal to eat raw onions while walking down the street in Northfield, Connecticut. Is that real or is that fake?
Real.
That's real.
That is real.
It's so stupid that it is real.
Come on, man. All right. In Kansas, it's illegal to sing the alphabet out on the street at night.
False.
I feel like if the cop pulls you over, you're going to be singing the alphabet.
Anyway. Anyway.
Okay, so
torn.
starting at-
I'll say false, but I'm torn.
It is actually a true one.
Okay.
Mm.
All
So
right.
if somebody did that shit
Yep.
and kept people up.
Yep.
Yep. All
They're
right.
like, hey.
This one's a little questionable. In Oklahoma, it's illegal to have a Prince Albert. Do y'all know what that
And
is?
oh, yes.
Do you know what a
Yeah.
Prince Albert is?
Yes, I do.
For those of you listening who do not, it's like a penis area and other things.
A pierced cock.
Piercing.
Do you think Prince Albert had a Prince Albert? Like Queen
Maybe.
Victoria's husband?
Hey, you never know.
I know she was a hornball.
They were probably freaky.
They were all so
They were probably freaky dicky.
all the time.
Yeah, they were.
They are fucking all the time.
And like in her diaries, all she would talk about
Yep.
was
Banging.
All the
banging
time.
her husband.
Okay, so what do y'all think about that?
Mm.
Oklahoma, it's illegal to have a Prince
I'm
Albert.
going to say no.
I think it's true.
You think it's true? You
Yeah.
think it's false? Now, let me throw this in. Tiger King, Joe Exotic,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
had a Prince Albert.
I
Li-
bet he did, dirty motherfucker.
lived in Oklahoma. So that one is false.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, piss.
Because frankly, the people that know about him don't care. And
Or they
to make
want
a
'em.
law, you
I mean, how even if it was a true law, how you going to enforce that? You're just going to go
Exactly.
to every man you see. The cops are going to be like,
Whip
drop
it out.
trial.
drop
Let me
'em,
see it.
drop them.
You have an imprint of something other than your penis. Let me see what's in
Yes. Okay, in Colorado, you can smoke weed, right? We know that.
here. Mhm.
Anywhere but Waffle House. Even if
Like
it's
inside?
even if it's for medicinal purposes. You can't be on the grounds or anything. It just says Waffle House. So what do you think? Colorado, you cannot smoke weed in Waffle House even for medicinal purposes.
I'm going to say false because I don't even think they have Waffle Houses in Colorado.
Oh.
They don't?
What do you think?
The awful waffle. I'll say true.
That one is false. I made it up.
Yeah, Waffle
That's a
Houses
weird one.
aren't in. I haven't been to Colorado, but I've been to states around there,
I
and
would
they don't
imagine.
have them.
Yeah. I would-
Okay, well, let me just preface this. I didn't say it at the beginning, so it's not really a preface, but the ones that are false, I made them up. Okay, so they might be real, but I'm just going to say they're not because I made them up. All right.
Okay.
So maybe you can't smoke weed and want. Maybe.
I would have. Yeah,
Okay.
you probably can't.
All right. So in Arkansas, it's illegal to blow your horn at any place where sandwiches are served after 9 p.m.
I'm going
True.
to say true
You got it. That's true.
because somebody pissed somebody else
Yep.
off in town with that
Yep.
Mhm.
honking at the Sonic car hops.
I'm thinking they're in the drive-thru and they're drunk and they're just like,
Well, because
Yeah.
sometimes it's ridiculous. Sometimes when
y'all
you're in the
bitches are sleeping
after
in there.
9 o'clock
Mhm.
and you're like desperate for food.
Yeah.
Side note: did y'all know that Cane's is open until 1 a.m.?
I did
Yes,
not.
we did.
I do not because I'm not a fan.
Oh, I like Cane's.
Their chicken is good, but it has no seasoning. If you don't have that dip,
I gotta have the dip.
you're fucked.
That's the reasoning
And
behind
then
going.
they don't give you enough dip, so you got to order more dip, and it costs more money.
We do 1 dip and 1 honey mustard.
Oh, I never knew they had.
Oh,
that.
their honey mustard's delicious.
Our parish, everything, especially since COVID, closes at 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after we get through hanging out after church,
Y'all go to.
most of the young people, I am too old to eat deep fried chicken and french fries. I'd be 400 pounds and on 10 heart medications.
Yeah.
Me a year ago. No, I'm still on 10 heart medications.
All right.
But not for long.
Maybe.
You're taking
I don't know.
care of it.
I don't know. All right. Y'all ready for another one?
Yep.
Mhm.
NOLA in New Orleans.
NOLA, the 504.
Mhm.
That's right. The 504. In New Orleans proper, it's illegal to place a bet on the Saints.
In New Orleans proper?
Yes. That's what the law says. I don't know if that.
What?
I don't know if that's a certain area of town.
Well, then it's true because you wouldn't have said in New Orleans proper.
What do you think?
I'm going to go ahead with true.
It is false. I made it
Why?
up.
Why did you
Okay.
say it like that? That's a weird way to say it.
Because she is
'Cause
good
I-
at lying.
I am
What the
trying to
hell?
fuck you up. I'm trying to fuck
In New
you up.
Orleans proper.
Okay, in Florida, it's illegal to eat cottage cheese on Sunday.
Mm.
Yes,
True?
I say true.
What do you say?
False.
What say you?
This sounds gross.
It is true.
Cottage cheese?
It is illegal to eat cottage cheese on Sunday.
I
The
got to tell you
cottage.
why I think it's true.
Why do you think it's true?
Okay, you know why-
Now you know it's true.
You know why the key lime pie is a thing, right?
Oh, that's their like state bird, the fucking
Because-
key lime pie.
It was hard to get dairy in Florida for a long time. So it may have been by the 7th day, you're not eating that.
Like a blue law kind of.
Well, no, like don't touch that. The last time we had the dairy shipment in was,
It was
Oh.
rancid.
yeah.
Like me yesterday when I was eating one of my snacks, and then I was like, "This doesn't taste right." And then I looked
Yeah,
at
that
it.
was
It's been like expired for 10 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's see here. You can't wear hoods.
the hoods.
This is only
You
my.
can't wear the
That's only my
hoods.
7th drink. I'm a party guy. You can't wear hoods in public in Dublin, Georgia.
Dublin.
I'm going to say that's true.
No hoods?
No
Yeah,
hoods.
I think that's true.
It is true. You are correct.
You know that all of the schools are hoodless, right?
Mhm.
I'm sure.
Like if
And-
a kid comes with a hood, they'll either get like a referral or take that hoodie off.
Tell the listeners what a referral is in
All
Louisiana.
right, so a referral is, well,
You were referred for
to the
further-
office for ISSP, which is like,
in school suspension.
but what's so stupid, Tammy, is they don't do detention on them. They punish.
No, can I tell you something?
Tell me.
When my kids were little and they would get ISSP, I was so happy because I didn't have to take off work. They were going to be in school suspended. Does that make me a bad mom?
No, I was. It makes me a bad mom because I'm hoping for Saturday detention, so it's an actual punishment.
Oh, I got you.
In school suspension, what they get to go sit and do their work in
They do
in
nothing.
a quiet room.
No, they literally do nothing. It's boring, even
Never
for the
had
worst
one.
child.
in school suspended.
Chandler never did either. No.
Chandler
No, I
was
had-
the golden boy.
I had a suspension or two, and I just nipped that by making them do what I do in a day while they're at school. They didn't.
Mhm.
Me, I just like to beat the brakes off of my kid when they get home.
Mhm.
All right, y'all ready? I got a
Yes.
couple more. In Texas, you cannot bring your cow to the grocery store.
False.
I'm going to say yes because it should be a law.
I made it up. It's false.
But somewhere recently, I heard about somebody riding their horses through Walmart.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Don't you
I'm
think
gonna
that little
take
old lady,
my
that
horse.
greeter at the front, would be like, sir, you cannot come in here on the horse?
No.
And then Sir has to say, there's no law. about livestock in the grocery store.
Sir pulls out his guns like Yosemite Sam and starts shooting them in the air. I do what I want, bitch. Couple more. In California, it's illegal. It's against the law to eat an orange while taking a bath.
I've never tried that, but it sounds like a good time.
I don't like eating food in the bath. I feel
I
like
don't
it's
like
going to
eating.
get wet.
I like drinking
Yes.
in the tub.
Ooh, I love
So
to
what do
just
y'all
drink
think? In
all the time.
California, it's against the law to eat an orange while taking a bath.
False. True. False.
Which one?
False.
Okay.
False.
It is true.
I'm going to California just so that I can eat an orange and take a bath. See if anybody stops me.
Mm-hmm.
Also in California, it's illegal to eat a frog if it died during a frog jumping competition.
What in the fuck?
True or false?
True.
Why are we having frog jumping competitions?
Because they're fun.
Because they banned cockfighting.
I say false.
You say false and you say true?
I say true.
It is true. It's
Yeah,
a real...
it used to be like a big deal. The frog jumping, Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain.
So if a
Had
frog died during a frog jumping competition, it's illegal to eat them.
Yeah, you should honor your hero.
Not when you're bear. You can eat whatever you want.
Well, like if you just got a frog in your backyard and it's dead and you want to eat it,
Ugh.
you can.
Yeah,
but just make sure that nobody's around questioning whether it was
Why you drop it in your mouth.
Yeah. Okay. Last one.
Okay.
It's illegal to give a moose any alcohol beverages in the city of Fairbanks, Alaska.
Okay, Fairbanks is crazy. So I'm going to say true.
False.
That one is true.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
a-
Tammy, you did me dirty for this.
So
one.
look, you're gonna have to come back so you can redeem yourself on.
I'm not
next
good on the
game.
true or false thing.
I should have kept a tally.
I would have lost. For show.
So when I did this with T-Pop, he kind of put me on the spot because I had a list of real
T-Pop's funny.
stupid laws,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, "Let's play a game. Tell me some fake ones. Tell me some real ones. Let me guess." So I had to make that shit up
On the fly.
on the fly, and I am not good at
No.
that. I am not good
You
at
were
that.
a preparer.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
since like when I was looking at my paper at the true ones, I went, so in Mississippi, you can't marry your first cousin. No.
That's
Look, and in the future for this game, if there's anything about an animal in a bathtub, it's probably true.
Oh,
yeah.
For some reason, that's a big deal.
Or an animal tied to either a fire hydrant or a parking meter.
Yeah.
What was the one tying your alligator to
You
a
can't-
fire
You
hydrant?
can't do
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
There's one with about a giraffe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Don't you can't park your elephant.
Elephants.
Yep.
Yeah, there's so many animal ones. So
Those
Just-
poor mooses, the meeses.
the meese, yeah.
The poor meese, they can never have any alcoholic beverages.
They're, you know,
No, they
what?
can have them. You just can't give them to them.
in Fairbanks, Alaska.
Welcome to
Go
the next
over, hey,
town.
go over to Anchorage
Bring your moose.
and do your worst.
Everyone is getting drunk with their mooses.
Shots,
the meeses.
shots. Yes. Okay. Thank y'all so much for being here and doing this.
You're
I want to say I'm not sure if this comes out in October or September, but if this comes out in August or September, if it's August, you have until August 31st to go to the People's Choice Awards. If y'all nominated us, go log in, see if you can vote for the finals. We made it in 4 categories.
Oh, yes.
And one of them was society and culture.
I saw that. That was
that
weird.
just kills me.
But you know what? We talk about society issues.
And we are
Mhm.
very cultured.
We are so fucking cultured. Okay. And then if this is out in September and the voting's closed for the People's Choice Awards, we are up for another award, Women in Podcasting.
Which is so cool.
Women in Podcasting Award in the comedy category, which this is a perfect episode
Mhm.
to represent
To
that.
giggle and
Mhm.
laughing.
So please go there to the Women in Podcasting. Just Google it. You'll find us. And then I think you can search by show. If you have to search by cat. I'm so drunk. I have to search by category. We're in the comedy. I wonder if someone played that at half speed.
Dude,
How fucking
you'd
bad
be
is
like,
that?
I'm gonna have to try it when it comes out.
Also, I have to tell y'all that I have someone now on a monthly basis changing up the website.
cool.
Wonderful.
So you need to go visit it frequently because my guy is primo. Thank you, Antonio, for
Go, Antonio.
all the work you do. And he was doing all my social medias, but then I found out he could do websites. So I'm just piling the shit on him right now.
Yep.
Okay. Is that it? Doing it.
Patreon. You never said that today.
Grits. If you want to help support the show, because we po.
We po and we need some mo.
I'm trying to rhyme. You want to support the show because we po and we need some mo. No, that rhyme.
Mo money.
More money. Okay. Go to Patreon/grits. Patreon. There's different levels where you can subscribe. If you do $10 or up, you will get to hear that crazy episode where my children told stories on me. And I've heard it's pretty good. So.
And keep on the lookout for a roast episode.
Oh, yeah. I think we're going to do a Patreon roast of Tammy. Because if you can't laugh at yourself.
Then you're just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we love y'all. Thank you, ladies, again.
You're
Thank
so
you, Chandler,
welcome.
for camera switching. We love y'all. Tell your mom and them to listen. We're going to let Zach go back and take us out.
Bye.